we happen to have access through life. We decided to get jobs in finance and so on and so forth. But a lot of people didn't have that because they would have had parents that have never invested.
When I asked my mum what was invested, you are my investment. You left the country that you're from, flew to another country, like you're not going to see none of your people there.
Yeah.
Got a house, started a family, had children. Like, it's mad.
Do you know what's so funny? It sounds so bad to say. Of that generation, they did that, which is so brazy, and I rate it. But then they'll say that the stock market's risky.
Yo, bro, how was your week?
It was good, man. You know, I finally went and got the Tesla, you know, so I've gone fully electric now.
Jeez.
I soft launched it with a random.
What were they saying?
What, you gone fully electric, yeah? Obviously, I used to have a Range Rover before, innit? So I was like, how come you got a Tesla, though? I was just, you know me, I'll bang back straight away. I'm like, you wouldn't get it. 2% business in kind tax, that doesn't mean anything to you. It means something to me.
Can you just, I know it's early, we just started. Can you just run them that knowledge? Because I feel like it's a gem that a lot of people don't understand in regards to, obviously, when you get a car through your company. I remember I'm always talking about do businesses, do stuff that your business can pay for your lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
So it's so much better when your business pays your lifestyle. Whether it's, if you want to travel, that's why we got business class, so you can pay for your business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you wanna go out to nice restaurants, you have business meetings in those restaurants.
Yeah.
Then do you know what I mean? If you want to drive a nice car, you do it through your company.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's benefit in kind tax.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So talk to us about why you went electric and how the benefit in kind tax is different.
Evan's got ham. He's got it early.
I ain't even told you about my weekend, but because you mentioned it, I just want to go. I don't want us to miss it.
Yeah. So to give some context, right? The way that the everyday person who's employed works is that your tax is all done through the government. Basically, you just get your pay net.
Yeah.
Now, for a business self-employed person, the money comes into the business gross, and it's your responsibility to pay tax. Blah 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 blah. But the great thing is that we can now start paying stuff before tax.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're going to, I don't know, Saudi to meet someone to discuss business with them, you can pay for your flight with the gross money. Now, let's just say for two different people, employed, you get paid 10 gross, but you get 6K in your account. Mm-hmm. With a self-employed person, you get paid 10 gross, and then you spend £1,000 on flights, and now you can only be taxed on the 9K. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Cool. So let's go forward. The main benefits that you'll get when you get an electric car through a company is, first of all, you get to pay out the cost of the whole car or of the lease before tax. So if you're paying £7 a month, that comes out before tax, basically. And for context, that's before roughly about 19% corporation tax.
Yeah.
If you're a high rate payer, I think it's either 32.5 or 37.5 dividend tax, basically. So that's the first one. The next one is if you're VAT registered as well. If it's a lease, you get to claim back 50% of the VAT every single month. But the key one which we're talking about is benefit in kind. Now, if you're a company that has a car, if I've got a company and I'm driving a car for the company, what the tax man's saying is that I'm benefiting from it no matter what. So they put a tax in place, basically. And typically for like my old car, the benefit in kind tax was 37%. And for this electric car, because it's fully electric, there's tax benefits and it's 2%. So for context, for driving my old car through my company, if I did run it through my company, which I didn't, because of benefit in kind tax, I would be taxed. I think it's anywhere between like 11,000 and 13,000 per annum, basically. Yeah. So that's how much the tax bill would be for me. However, with this fully electric car, if I remember correctly, it's between about £600 and £700.
Yes.
So it's a huge difference. We're talking over 10K difference, basically, as well as all of the other benefits. So hopefully that was a nice little breakdown for you.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I think the main point that what I'm trying to get across, and obviously Tayo explained it amazingly, is that when you're employed, you get your income after tax, and then you pay for electricity, home, all your bills, car, holidays, everything for money. The whole money's already they've already taken. So like if you earn over 50K now they're taking anything above that, they're taking 40%. So a good portion of your money has already gone, and then you're now trying to live life.
Yeah.
if you can make money for a limited company, you can now live life, take that money that you made for a limited company, it can be taken away from the life that you've lived, the things you've enjoyed, and then what's left after you've lived, then pay tax on that.
Yeah, literally.
And so now you've been able to enjoy your money more because you've been able to enjoy it before they've taxed it.
Absolutely.
And so that is why we don't want to just keep making money, PAYE, PRE, I'm on 100, I'm on 200, I'm on 300, because it's just giving and giving and giving away without any control to you. So if you really want to see more of your money, you want to have a skill that you make employed, but then you want to be able to also monetize that skill for a limited company so you can see more of it, and that money can pay for your lifestyle. So when they've already taken 40% from your money that you're getting employed, you know that 60%, you don't even need it for your lifestyle. You can invest that, you can save that, you can do other things with that. Do you know what I mean? Because from your business is paying for the things that you like to do in your lifestyle.
Literally.
And that's the cheat code. That's how you really make your money work for you.
Absolutely.
So that was big. Anything else happened this week?
Nothing, man. We finally went to goals. Gosh, and one that I didn't organize. Finally.
Come on.
It's been a journey, but we got there. So I went yesterday and kicked. What about you? How's your week been?
You know what? It's been good, man. It's been really good. Like, I know we do wins and L's of the week at the end, but bruv, I had to share this because for me, this is what it's about for me. Like, my eldest son Malachi, he won an award in his school for top best person in his class.
Sick.
So for his form class, he won that, and then my other son got voted head boy for his school for next year. So when he goes to school next year, and it's just like, for me, knowing how I was at school, knowing that I was the guy that used to get kicked out of class and used to go to the head teacher's office all the time and get in trouble, for me to raise these kids in a way where they're getting recognition for who they are as people, for me is everything.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I get paid now and get encouraged for who I am. But your talent in the wrong environment is a curse.
Yeah.
And your talent in the right environment is a blessing.
Yeah.
And so when I was being Mr. Funny Guy and making everyone laugh and being quick-witted and all of that at school, I felt like I was cursed because I was always getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Always someone phoning my mum. My mum's always complaining. But now people praise me for it and people want to be around me and connect with me, and I get opportunities for it. And I've always told my boys that, you know, especially my boys, obviously my girls are a bit younger, but I've always told my kids, like, for me, I'm going to judge you on how you are as a person. That's me as a father.
Yeah.
That's my role. That's my job, is to make you a good person. Whether you are the smartest person in the class or whatever, we'll work on it. We'll get tutoring. We'll do all of that and try and get you to get the best results you can.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, if I know you're doing your best, whatever the result is, I'm going to be proud of you.
Yeah.
But your character and who you are when you're outside, that's me.
Yeah.
That's what I'm responsible for. Because if people are saying you're not a good person or you're not a nice person, that means I haven't done my job. I haven't instilled the character I want for you and the person I want you to be, and that means I'm not leading by example.
Yeah.
And so when I see my boys like achieving things that I would never even have thought to be able to do, that's what really fills me with pride and makes me want to work harder and makes me want to make sure I continue to open the doors and give them the opportunities that I never had. So for me, it was just I was so proud that when he won, he didn't even know he was winning the award. They just invited him to the event.
Crazy.
And then he won an award, and I was just in the thing, just almost in tears. Do you know what I mean? And then my son had to write a speech to my other son Ethan had to write a speech to be head boy. Then he wrote the speech, done the speech, and then got voted out. And all the year groups voted from reception class all the way up.
Crazy.
And he won. And it's just like, yeah. I feel validation.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I might not get every brand deal. I might not get on TV when I feel like I should do. I might not get all that. But I know I'm a good father, and I know that my kids are doing well, and I know all the sacrifice, all the hard work that I'm doing is not wasted.
Yeah, and these are the things that truly matter, man. It's so important, man. It's so important. That's lit, man. I know. I was gonna. It's so funny that you said that I was close to tears. I was gonna say, did you cry?
Almost. The eyes was watering. I'm not gonna lie. I almost, especially with Malachi, because he's always been someone that's a bit more quieter. Do you know what I mean? Like Ethan's a bit more boisterous and loud and all of that. Malachi's always been not quieter. So to see him now stand out and see his confidence grow, it just, bro, it's something different. Like when they say like, being a parent, it's different. Like you see the world in such a different lens. Like when I look at what I'm trying to do with financial education, I think about my kids all the time. I think about, I don't want them to make bad mistakes. So I need to change this in government. I need to challenge this. I need to use my whatever I can. Like I've gone to their school to give financial talks. Do you know what I mean? I need to do whatever I can to equip their generation. Do you know what I mean? And it's like when you think about your child, it's like as much as you want to do stuff for them, you can't. So all you can do is give them the knowledge and show them by example.
Yeah, example is key, man.
And to know that you're having a positive, you're creating a positive environment for them to be the best versions of themselves, for him to stand out in his class and his teacher to say, out of all the people in your class, you are the best student in your class. Oh my goodness.
Really?
It's wild. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's wild. And I just, these are the things where you just hope it gives them confidence. The other day I brought into football. You come to football, you understand? And it's like, anything I'm doing, I want to bring him around, like, because I was saying to S, like, he was like, when did you ever play football with your dad?
Nah, maybe the church events, and when I was older later.
Bruv, I said I've never kicked ball 5-a-side with my dad. Not that my dad's even sporty like that anyway, but these are the things that we're doing that is going to become normal.
And it's things that we need to take advantage of, because it's one thing that we said before, is that at the time our parents came,
come on,
they couldn't play 5-a-side, bro.
5-a-side?
They couldn't, bro. I always tell people that, like, especially for those of us that are first generation here, like, bruv, what our parents actually had to do is mad, bro. It's mad. It's actually mad. Come to this country and raise a family, like, from scratch, like,
bro, knowing that you're not wanted.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, remember, like, right now, racism's all, like, hidden and da-da-da-da-da. Like, remember, like, back then, like, my dad tells me stories of things and I just think to myself, this thing was blatant.
Yeah, broad day.
They made you feel like you should be in a village somewhere, like you've come from an uncivilized place to us civilized country. You're just lucky we let you in.
Yeah.
Like, let alone give you a job.
Yeah.
Let alone we're on the same bus, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like the things that our parents went through, like when you think about it, like who taught them to buy a house or to invest?
Yeah.
Like what was stocks? Remember, their generation is the stock market was really booming, and
Yeah.
They didn't have a clue who taught them, what lesson.
Them? At that point, they're trying to focus on keeping a roof over their head, getting a job. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Maybe getting a better job. Like, it's crazy.
What money was there?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess that's something that we have to kind of like consider, not only for ourselves, but for our generation, the people that aren't in a position to have access to what we know about investing and stuff like that, basically. So they might not have had access because their parents didn't know, innit? We happen to have access through life. We decided to get jobs in finance and so on and so forth. But a lot of people didn't have that because they would have had parents that have never invested. And like, I'm sure that everybody would have heard of it now, but one of the major reasons why they aren't able to invest is because they've never seen it before, right?
Exactly.
They've never seen it happen.
No, they'd never. And it's like, when I really think about with them, like, what was investing to them? When I asked my mum what was investing, you are my investment. My mum told me I'm her pension. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I didn't even know what a pension was. That's how young I was that my mum told me I'm her pension.
Yeah.
Like, for our parents, they saw coming from the countries that they come from to here is the investment. Like, we're gonna sacrifice. So for me now to make money and my mum to ask me for money or whatever, it's a joy. I'm proud to be able, like, I don't ever feel like, you're a burden. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Do you know, I would never have anything that I had today if they didn't make the sacrifice. Like,
facts.
I talked to my mum, because obviously we're now at the age where we're past when they came over. So my mum calls my youngest sister Josephine, calls her a baby, like, the baby of the house. I said, Mum, like, Joel's 30 now. When you was in your 20s, you left the country that you're from, flew to another country, like, that doesn't speak even, like, you're not going to see none of your people there.
Yeah.
Got a house, started a family, had children. Like, it's mad.
Do you know what's so funny? It sounds so bad to say. Of that generation, that they did that, which is so brazy, and I rate it. But then they'll say that the stock market's risky. It's crazy, bro. Because that is a real rolling of the dice. Like, don't get me wrong, like, our generation are more privy to, like, investing in stocks and that, but our generation won't make the bold move that they did.
Bruv, come on, even now, man are talking, shall I move to the Middle East, or shall I go Canada? And they're like, it's long.
Right.
We're here. Like, do you understand? Like, to actually get up and leave all the people, like, all your friends, everyone you know, people that speak your language, people that look like you, come over here, and then the second you come over here, experience prejudice and racism and lack of opportunity, and still stay to say that, oh no, this is a better life for my kids, and I want to be able to raise my family here, my children to be born British, so they have that opportunity in life and go through what they've gone through. Like, I mean, like, we've had my dad's had been spat on, had rubbish thrown on him, have his car burnt. We had our balcony set on fire. Like, he's gone through so much.
It's crazy.
Like, and that's just what I know about. Let alone what it was like trying to be in an office where you got a slight accent and maybe these men are taking the middle. What are you saying? I don't understand. And people thinking that you're slower than them because you're not, because you're from Africa and they're from the UK and they're better than you, and having to then go and get qualified, and all your qualifications that you've had be told that it means nothing.
It's crazy.
And having to go study all over again.
They're looking at your degree like it's, bruv. They're looking at it like it's like it was a Word document, bruv.
Trust me, like it's fake. So it's like, imagine having to start all over again. Like I remember someone saying that, you know, they saw someone from their village, like someone that's a chief in their village, and they was doing cleaning or doing security, and like, it's mad that you were someone there and now you've come to another country and now you're doing the menial jobs that nobody wants to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All in the name of starting again and giving your kids a better chance.
Yeah, there's a lesson in that though, because sometimes you have to do a little bit of a reset. It's so funny, like, this sounds so crazy that it's linked, but even when I mentioned, like, getting the electric car, part of the reason I just got that brand, and I would want to say the brand because obviously they
ain't paying.
But the part of the reason I said it, I always say, I'll be saying to my brothers, I just want to keep my head down for 2 years. I need to focus, and this is going to help me. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They give me a colour option, say black. Just give it to me black. I don't want this isn't part of. Let me just. Sometimes you have to reset to go forward. Like, sometimes when you're building your goals, it's like, cool, let's break everything down to the ground. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it sounds so crazy to say. It's even like, let me do a direct debit review. And blah, 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 sort this. Okay, I'm going to plan to do this, and okay, I'm not going to need this anymore in 3 months' time, and so on and so forth. But these things are so important. But just back to what we were talking about, and I think that they've given a great lesson, because a reset is important. But sometimes there's that element of, like, learning. And I want to talk about investing in stocks, but the one that we tend to speak about more is that they spoke about what they knew in it. So we often speak about the fact that when we grew up, they wanted us to be engineer, doctor, or there's a third one, isn't it? Lawyer. Engineer, doctor, lawyer, innit? And then, I mean, when fresh out of uni, it kind of made sense, but we saw the world change so quickly, right? Whereby content creators making more than doctors, and even that's more recent. It's even someone that's contracting in IT is whooping a lot of those careers, innit? So things change, innit? But yeah, I think that's the career one where we speak about a lot. But one thing that we don't speak about is the investing side of things, because that's something that didn't really carry over because they weren't really doing it. So how do we get people that are kind of like in our generation and our age getting involved in investing, and why aren't they getting involved in investing? Is it mainly because their parents didn't?
Bro, it's just a foreign language. It just doesn't make sense to them. It's like, I don't know about you, but the first time these men tried to teach man algebra, I said, why?
And I hear it.
I said, I already understand numbers.
Yeah,
why are you adding alphabet to number?
Why are you hiding it?
Why? What are you doing?
Why are you hiding it behind the letter?
I learned alphabet. I learned numbers. Now you want to put the two together? Why? Why? Like, and it's just the same thing. Like they've learned how to make money, and they make money and they understand to survive. Now you're telling me I should give this money to somebody else to invest it to make more money. Like, you see, property, we can understand property because when I buy a house, I can touch that. I feel that. I can't walk with my share options in the street and be like, yo, I own £200 an apple. It don't work like that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's one of them things where it just doesn't make sense because it's something that is so far removed from your reality and what you know. And so this is why it's so important to have people in your community that you can trust, that can tell you, okay, no, look, this is something to do. And one of the big problems is that whole trust thing. And it's like, until we get people that we can really look out and trust and are credible. And that's why when we talked to previous pods about like being on TV, for me, the reason I went on TV is less about money and more about the fact that I know that because I'm on television and because we know that to get on TV you're vetted, the everyday person now has more trust in what I have to say because they know I'm not a charlatan. Because on social media you can fake it. There's no real checks. There's nothing. You can just start talking, and if you talk well enough and you're gifted and talented in how you speak and you wrap it up with a good camera and great lighting, you go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
TV, I had to send my certificates. I had to send all my qualifications. They vetted everything before I ever did one day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I knew that would help me build trust with people so that they could trust me on knowing that I'm actually good at and know what I'm talking about. It's not a facade. And I feel like one of the big things for our parents is that there was nobody that even had access to it to be able to teach them.
Yeah.
So remember, the only reason I'm a financial advisor today and I'm able to do this is because I got a job in a bank. At that time, they couldn't even open bank accounts.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So it's different.
So if you're struggling to open bank accounts and you're struggling to get a loan from the bank and you're struggling to even be able to use the bank and you can't even get an appointment with the bank manager if you're of a certain race, how are you now someone going to tell you to start investing in companies?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, facts.
So it's one of those things that now we have jobs in these places. Yeah. We're qualified in there. We have the knowledge. So now I can tell you to invest and you can say, oh, okay. Because I know I've been in there. I've seen what other people have done and I'm sharing it in that community.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the Asian community, powerful. You mentioned something and I think this is something that Asian man will say, yeah, I do IT. Yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. Yeah, I'm going to be a dentist. They've got set jobs that they know that, and they don't feel embarrassed. Man can open a corner shop. No, what are you going to say to him, man?
Yeah.
Man's making dough off that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
With us, like you said, our parents tried to do the same thing, but it didn't run.
Yeah, there's so much collaboration in the community. I know this is going off topic as well, but they're just so very tunnel vision. Like they'll be there from young.
Yeah.
And they'll grow up and they'll still be there. And it's like, my man that's at my shop here, I also see him at another shop around the corner.
Facts.
So all of you man are in cahoots. Like, all you man are doing this together, bro.
Bro.
It's crazy.
Bro, even chicken shop, bro.
Yeah.
I remember coming, bro, ain't you at the... Yeah, bro. And I'm like, bro, so you man are family. And he said, this is my cousin. And it's like, that's what you need, bro.
Yeah, literally.
That's what you need. Like, even like man's me. I talk to everyone. So even man's local chicken and chips place. The brother, I was speaking to him. I was like, bro, I ain't seen you for a minute. Where you been? He's like, yeah, I'm doing a degree. It's like I'm doing a degree so that with these franchises, I can help head this so that we can buy more in other locations or so forth. He done his degree, finished his degree. So how's the degree? He's like, I'm doing my masters now. Bruv, he's now finished his masters. Like, he finished his masters in this thing. So you're there, oh, boss man. You don't know, my man's more qualified than you.
Yeah.
And exactly. this is not, like, we're seeing one because we come from only owning one. These men want to own many.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And they can do that because bruv, when you go to look how much man is there.
Yeah.
You look at the back, it's not always the same man at the back.
Yeah, it's not.
So what's going on then? How much man can work in one place?
Yeah.
Because man are running through bare different. And
yeah.
they're coming to learn, and then they're going to go and set up their own.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's that for us?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say that I think that just going back a little bit as well, a key thing that you mentioned, and you kind of said it without saying it, is that the generation before us, there's more of a responsibility for us to invest.
Yes.
Because the generation before us didn't have the opportunities, first of all.
Facts.
That's the first thing you mentioned. Because they were trying to get jobs,
Yeah.
let alone even have money to invest, basically. The second thing is they didn't have what good looks like, which is something I always talk about.
Yes.
And what you'll find as well, which I get, and I know you get all the time, is you'll find like 65-year-olds DM you saying that, "Man, I saw you on TV. I haven't had anyone to be able to speak to this about." Imagine that, 65 years.
Come on.
You haven't had anyone until they see you on TV. And I guess the third thing is that the time that it was time for them to investing was... What does that look like?
It was crazy.
What does that look like? What platform? Nowadays, you can just do it through an app, which we'll get into to let people know how the barriers have reduced. Yeah. But before, it was difficult. Like,
it was only the information was only available if you had a set number of money. Think about it. Them times you had to go to the bank.
Yeah.
You had a stockbroker.
Yeah.
You had to, bro, how are our parents going to know how to find a stockbroker? Number one. Then number two, when you go to the bank, you only understand loan. I need a loan. You don't understand. I need to invest. You might you might have learned about a savings account if you had a nice bank that told you, look, you got some money, you should put it in a savings account. Oh, what's that? Okay, you get some interest on your money. Okay, great, I'll do that. But man, you might not have enough money for them to then say you need to see a financial advisor.
Yeah.
And then if you never get that, how do you know about it? How do you know? Like, so even when you're watching the news and you're seeing this tech company's gone crazy, like British Gas are privatizing, and how do you know to get shares in all of these things? Or like, you just don't know how to do it. And no one's speaking your language. No one understands what it means to you. Instead, what are you doing? You're doing partner. Do you know what I mean? You're doing the things that you were doing back home.
And it's so funny because, I think that even stuff with partners, it's that partners it is the same money that you put in over the year anyway. You just get all of it in lump sum.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like what you probably really did need is an accountability partner or something like that.
Exactly, because there's no interest.
Exactly that. But I think that one thing which we can definitely do on this topic is let's get you to drop some game for them. So if we talk about, you go to the bank and they're telling you about savings account, explain to the people then how savings is good, but how investing can be better, especially over the long term.
Yeah, so savings is good because with a savings account, you get instant access to your money, right? So, or you can tie it up for a period of time if you want to, but you know how much return you're going to get. So with a savings account, they will tell you, like, right now, you can get 5%. So you give us your money and you can get 5%. If you leave it there, you get 5% for the year. Sometimes it's fixed, and if you fix it, they'll give you 5.2% or 5.5%. Yeah. Like, they give you slightly more. But if you leave it variable, you can take it out any time. But it will, as long as whatever's left there, we'll give you 5% on it. Okay, cool. And that's great for like things like your emergency fund, where you might need to access it quickly, or if you know that you are responsible and people might lean on you. Like, you might have cousins with, like, we have to call it black tax. You might have family abroad that might have emergencies, and you are their port of call for help and support. So you might keep that kind of pot of money keep it fluid so you can get access to that money. Yeah. So a savings account's great for that. But the big thing we're fighting is inflation. Yeah. And inflation is something that I've been talking about for years, but people thought it was some mythical beast, like from Potter or something, like I've made it up. Do you know what I mean? But now, over the last few years, people have seen it and experienced it. I understand it's real. Do you know what I mean? We've seen it with our food prices. We've seen it with that. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is with your money is that we understand now that if I've got £5,000 today, if I still have the same £5,000 next year or in 2 or 3 years' time, then what that £5,000 can do will be reduced because the cost of things go up generally over time. Okay, so what we're trying to do is invest your money so that it not only keeps pace with inflation, but outpaces inflation. Absolutely. so that your money's actually growing faster than the cost of things are going up. So it's keeping its actual spending power. Do you know what I mean? So for example, 5 years ago, what £10,000 could do 5 years ago, you'd probably need it to be £15,000 today.
Yes.
So you want your money to be invested so it grows over that time, so that now you're looking at your portfolio, you put £10,000 in, and now it's 16, 17,000. You're like, okay, great. Not only has it beat inflation, not only has it matched inflation, it's gone above it, so my money's still got its spending power. So if I take that out, I could still be able to do stuff with it. So that's why we look to invest. To really get that, you want to save over a 5-year term or more, and you want to invest. So when we look at stocks, it's an easy way to do it. So like, obviously you're the property guy, but with property, there can be barriers to entry, right? So one of the typical barriers is you need a deposit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Another barrier that people don't think about is credit. You need to have a good credit score.
Yeah.
Another barrier might be in the fact of the price of the property.
Yeah.
So that, because you want to buy where you live, and if you live in a city, which especially people from our community tend to live in cities, that means that house prices in cities are higher than house prices outside of cities. So, and also, you know, obviously you want to buy normally where you want to work. So most jobs tend to be in cities and in developed areas. So all of these things can make it difficult for someone to get straight into property.
Yeah.
So the good thing about investing in stocks now, especially with the platforms that are available, you can invest from £1.
Sick.
You can round up your change. So you can get funds where you can get certain ones where you can, let's say I went to the shop and I spent £4.50, it'll round it up to £5 and 50p would go into the market.
Yeah.
When I started, you could not put 50p in the market.
Yeah.
You needed to have thousands of pounds to invest in the market. Do you know what I mean? But the way we've now become sophisticated, your money is pooled with other people's money.
Yeah.
That's why you can do it.
Yeah.
So it's not just, although it's 50p from you, it's 50p from millions of people across the country, which means that it's a viable amount that can go in. Do you know what I mean? And so what happens is that your money's pooled with other people's money, and then there's a fund manager. Normally what they do to even keep the cost even lower, forget the fund manager, you just follow an index.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it a passive fund. You just follow an index. Maybe the S&P 500, the top 500 US companies. It might be the FTSE 100, the top 100 UK companies. It might be a global index. Whatever it may be, it's just following it. And then if that goes up, your money goes up. If it goes down, your money goes down.
And the key thing to note is that a lot of these things have been out for some time, so there's history on them as well, on how they've performed. The good thing about index funds as well, which I like, I'm an index fund kind of guy, just because you put it in and forget about it, innit? Is that it's the top 500 American firms, or like Eman said, the top 100 UK firms, but it's dynamic.
Yeah.
So when there's a loser, they drop out of the FTSE 100 and the better one replaces it, basically.
Exactly.
So you're always going to get a diversified portfolio, but B, the winners, basically, of the market. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think that's super important, and I think that you broke that down really, really well. And I think the main takeaway for people is that effectively what's happening is that your money is doing stuff now.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working for you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You're not relying on you having to do stuff to make money. You make money, you save it, and it's working for you. And I think that some people are sometimes reluctant to invest because not only our mindsets, but the UK is very kind of like defensive. Does that make sense?
Facts.
But sometimes being just defensive just makes you prone to attack. It's that you just want to have an emergency fund. You need to step out a little bit. Go on the offense a little bit. How do I beat inflation? How do I take the battle to inflation, basically?
Yeah, exactly.
And in actual fact, like what you'll find is that I think there was a stat that came out the other day that said that like the majority of the millionaires in America, they're just normal people. They work normal jobs. They just invested early. Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy.
Exactly. And I think what's really important is that you look at, so I want it to be as useful as possible. So like there's platforms like Plum. Do you know what I mean? There's platforms like Moneybox, Nutmeg, Wealthify. These are platforms that allow you to, Vanguard, Hargreaves Lansdowne. These are platforms that you can just start investing in funds and get access to them and get started. And depending on which one you do, it can be quite low barriers to entry. And remember, experience is a great teacher.
Yeah. So
let's say you put in, you're the money man. So let's say you put in £100 a month, yeah? And your portfolio's 100,000. So let's say you're putting £100 a month, you got £100,000 portfolio. And let's say little me, I'm just putting in my little £10 a month. You on your 100 or on your 1,000, whatever it may be, if you get 10% on that and we're in the same fund, I get 10% on whatever I put in.
Yeah.
If it goes down 10%, yours goes down 10%, mine goes down 10%. It's the same experience.
Yeah.
The fund manager, the difference is that obviously you're playing with a bigger amount of money. So if it goes up or down, it's going to hurt you more or less. The fund manager sends a report every 6 months. It's the same report, whether you got £1 million, £100,000, or you got £1.
Yeah.
You get the same report on what's happened in the fund, why it's gone up, why it's gone down, what their view is going forward, how they think the market's going to change, what they think is going to happen. So experience is a great teacher. So you can start low with £1 or £10 or whatever it may be, and then it can build up over time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think this is important for the people that like to be where success has been as well. So it's like you can even say that, okay, it makes me feel more comfortable investing because I know that a lot of the people that I deem successful, whoever it may be, Richard Branson or whoever, do you know what I'm trying to say? The people that I deem to be successful are also in this as well. It's even interesting how technology works as well, because now you've even got these things that track like Warren Buffett's portfolio. So it will just give you, once again, a smaller £50 worth of his 50 billion or whatever, do you know what I'm trying to say? But you'll be able to track his portfolio basically, which is really, really interesting. So a lot of it is just about taking advantage of what's available to you. And I think in everything we're saying is that even though we couldn't learn it from our parents, or a lot of us couldn't learn it from our parents, they didn't have the resources for that. But we do, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's super, super important.
And then there's just one level to take it further is, funds are great. And I think it's good that that's money you don't have to think about. But I think also buying individual shares is important as well.
Yes,
so like
definitely.
Actually buying the individual shares. So if you know you shop it, you love Apple, see if you can get some Apple shares. If you're someone that uses Microsoft on a regular basis, look at can you get Microsoft shares. If you know that you are someone that orders on Amazon a lot, see if you can get Amazon shares. Like actually having shares in the companies that you spend money with, because you're the reason that share price is going up. So why wouldn't you want to own the profit in it?
Yeah.
Like, don't just let your money go out to these companies. Get money back from them by owning them. Do you know what I mean? So where possible. So it's really important to look at, and sometimes, for example, like Primark is not on the stock market, but the company that own Primark are on the stock market. So do your research and look at who owns what can I get access to. If you like to go on cruises, then you know which are the best cruise companies that you like to use. Go and buy stock in that. Do you know what I mean? If you like to travel on flights, which airlines are you using? Whichever one you use the most and enjoy. And then once you stop enjoying it, sell those shares and those ones and buy the ones that you're moving to. Do you know what I mean? You can know, you can experience. You don't need to have to break it down and do this big knowledge. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then join groups where people are having these discussions. It's really important. Like our good friend Debidan, he's got Stock Pickers Academy.
Yeah.
Where they're having the conversation. You don't even have to regularly, every single day, different people are putting in knowledge around stocks and things they're looking at and companies if you immerse yourself in that. After a year, you're going to understand all the terms. You're going to understand the companies. This AI company, it begins with an N or whatever, that just went. NVIDIA. Like, these man, they were talking about that for time in the group. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now bare people have benefited from that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Honestly.
So without having to be the most knowledgeable person, if you know that people that you trust in a group having conversations saying, look, I'm investing in this. You got £100, £200, put it in. I've seen men say, you know what, I was going to go on holiday, but I'm going to use that £700. I was going to go buy flights and go on holiday. I'm going to invest it. Bro, before you know, that 700 is now 3,000.
Bro.
You can now go on holiday and still got change left over.
I've seen it live in the group. And
Come on.
and I think the thing that's sick, and one of the things that I like about those kind of communities as well is the stories where it's like, you've got someone who works for Royal Mail and they're earning this from their salary, which is a good salary. But here's how much they're earning from stocks, just by virtue of being with us. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's almost the same as their salary. So it's so important. But just on that, we got some financial jams around this kind of topic as well. So I searched basically.
Yeah, come on.
So I'm 32 years old. I've been investing in, what does it say? Oh, index funds. Spelled it wrong. Yeah. Mad. I'm currently thinking about picking stocks or going into crypto. Which one should I do?
Yeah, great question. I think if you're the two are different. Like when you think about risk, the two are different. So if you're going to pick stocks, the stocks tend to be on a market that is much more older, it's been around for longer, there's more information about it. Companies have to publish their information. You can go on a platform like Yahoo Finance and look at the company's debt, look at how much they've invested, look at how much they've grown. You can look back past years. So when you're going to invest in stocks, it's a more sophisticated market, which reduces your risk because you've got more information available. A lot of the time when you're going into crypto, these are new coins that people are talking about the possibility of it being able to be used for X or Y. And a lot of the reason why the price is going up or down is based on how much people think it can be actually used in real life.
Yeah.
And if they think it's a good concept, a lot of the time that thought about it having a positive review by people means that people believe in it, and then the price goes up. There's no evidence. There's no. This is the chief exec. This is the accounts of the company. This is where you get that with stocks.
Yeah.
So for me, if you're saying maybe you were doing index funds or you were in a savings account and now you want to take the next step up, the natural next step up would be to go into stocks.
Yeah.
And then the step after that, once you've mastered that, would then be to go into crypto and so forth.
Yeah.
I think there's levels to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
However, if you, let's say, for example, you work in IT or work in that space and you know that this new coin, for example, through industry understanding and knowledge, then maybe you can make that step due to the fact that you have that industry knowledge and understanding, so you can take that step, that leap into crypto. Yeah. But I think the natural next step would be to go into stocks.
Great answer. The next one, this will probably be the last one. Should I invest in stocks as a lump sum or monthly?
It's a good question. It depends on your risk appetite. If you're and also how much you need. That we always call about your capacity for loss. So if you know that you've got this lump sum of money, but you might need it in the future, or that's your only savings that you've got, then you'd probably want to look at doing it on a monthly basis. Because remember, if I had £10,000 and I put £10,000 in the market today, I buy it whatever the price is today. If I do £1,000 over the next 10 months, I get a different price each month because the market's going up and down. So it reduces my risk, and it's called pound cost averaging. You can search it. So what I would say is that when it comes to that, if you've got a lump sum, let's say I've inherited this lump sum and I don't need it for my life. I already got savings. I already got emergency fund. I've got a good income, and I just want to invest. Go lump sum.
Yeah.
But if you got this lump sum and this is the only money you've got no other savings, I would say if you're gonna use it, drip feed it in. But make sure you've got your emergency fund and you've got that stuff for you to protect you, to make sure that you are on a good footing. Because when you're investing longer term. So you're investing 5 years or more, and that's a big thing. A lot of people have a savings mindset, but want to invest. If you've got an investor, because what happens is you're used to getting a certain percentage. So even I see to people, what am I going to get back? What interest can I get? I'm like, no, we're investing in stocks. It's not interest. But your return could be X on average, but we can't guarantee a return. This is not a savings account where we're guaranteeing what you're going to get. So don't go into investing with a saving mindset.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're investing, it's a long-term investment. The price can be up or down, but because you only if we're investing for 5 years, you only care what the value is in 5 years' time, not what it is in 1 year or 2 years. So you got to have a longer term mindset for that.
Absolutely. Bro, we're going to go on to your W and your L of the week.
Okay. Before we do that, make sure you're using your ISA allowance. Yes. So if all this stuff that we said about stocks, put it in an ISA, wrap it, because you want to keep any growth that you get away from HMRC. You want to keep that. So if you put in it, you make sure anyone that's investing and they're telling me it's not in an ISA, you're just giving money away.
You're giving money away. Literally, you're giving money away.
So make sure you wrap in an ISA and protect it. So yeah, that's the last one. But yeah, W. Obviously, I've done my W already. Like, my boy has really made me proud. So that's my W. L. Man played football, and football was great, bruv. It took me 2 weeks. I couldn't walk.
Seriously.
So imagine after football, after football I was fine. 2 weeks, I said, now I've got to wear ankle brace and all that now to make sure, knee brace. I got to wear it all, protect.
You took the mick though, man.
Why?
You took the mick. Cut long story short, Eman told me to come football, so we've all come now. We don't play football often. E-man's trying to bust one move that he must have been doing 15 years ago. Bear in mind, yeah, within like the first 2 minutes of kickoff, bro, this move required like 99 agility.
Bruv, you know, like when you realize that you're old, bruv, because man used to do that thing. That thing used to be second nature to me. Man did the first part, bro. I've never gone dizzy like that before in my life. Bro, man's almost collapsed. I've gone dizzy. I said, wow, I just can't do it like that no more. Let me just keep it easy. That's when I said, you know what, up front is not for me. I can't run back, so let me just stay back.
But stay back. No, facts. No, I hear you.
How about you, WNL?
Yeah, I've had a good week. I think that my L is probably the day that I had the other day where it's just like I didn't do anything, but it's not huge, yo. Sometimes you just need the days to relax, innit? But you know how things are. It's like it overspills elsewhere. It doesn't just disappear, innit? You get what I'm trying to say? And I got to see one of my childhood friends get married, which was lit, man. I love weddings, man. Yeah, weddings are my new shambazes. Good food, drink. Just enjoy.
You're lucky, man. I feel like at my age now, no one's getting married. Everyone's already done it. Like there's always either you got married or you're just long-term partner. It's done. So yeah.
But yeah, man, that's been us though. Thank you for listening, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as normal. But it's been the Bread and Butter podcast.
Yo, thank you, man. Thank you all. Thank you. Make sure you comment. Make sure you let us know. Thank you for everyone that comes up to us in the public and tells us how they love the podcast. But don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you're sharing it with friends. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace, guys.